Hey there, let's talk about something real today. If you've ever felt like budgeting advice is made for people who actually have money left over at the end of the month, this video is for you. Because here's the truth. Traditional budgeting advice doesn't work when you reliving paycheck to paycheck. It just doesn't. When someone tells you to just save 20% of your income or build a 6-month emergency fund, and you're choosing between groceries and gas money, that advice feels like a slap in the face, doesn't it? But here's what I want you to know. You can budget on a low income. It just requires a completely different approach. I'm going to share practical, realistic strategies that actually work when money is tight. No judgment, no unrealistic expectations, just real talk about making your money work harder for you. If you're ready to take control of your finances, no matter how limited they are right now, smash that like button and let's dive in. And hey, if this video helps you, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future money tips designed for real life. The reality check: why traditional budgeting fails. Let's start with some real truth on why traditional budgeting fails every single time. Most budgeting advice is written by people who've never had to decide which bill to pay late. They throw around terms like discretionary spending when your entire life feels non-discretionary. Rent, utilities, food, transportation. These aren't choices, they're survival. The traditional 50/30/20 budget, that's 50% on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings. That sounds great until you realize your needs alone eat up 90% of your income. So before we get into strategies, I need you to let go of any guilt you're carrying. If you're not saving right now, if you're struggling to make ends meet, that doesn't make you bad with money. It makes you someone dealing with a systemic problem. According to recent data, millions of people are living paycheck to paycheck, including those with decent incomes. So if you're in this situation, you're not alone and you're not failing. You're dealing with a reality that requires smarter strategies, not shame. The first step in budgeting on a low income is acknowledging what you're actually working with. You can't fix a problem you won't name. And the problem isn't your discipline or your character, it's the math. So let's work with the math you've got. Before we move on, if you're feeling seen right now, drop a comment below and let me know. Building a supportive community is part of this journey, and I read every single comment. Your story matters, and it might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. All right, let's build your foundation. You can't budget what you don't track, but I'm not talking about recording every coffee purchase. When you're on a tight income, you need a different tracking system. Step 1. Calculate your actual income. Write down what actually hits your bank account each month. Not what you wish you made, not what you gross before taxes, but what actually comes in. If your income varies, look at the last 3 months and use the lowest amount. Yes, the lowest. This is about building a budget that works on your worst month, not your best. Step 2. List your non-negotiables. These are expenses you cannot avoid without serious consequences. Rent or mortgage, minimum debt payments, utilities, basic food, essential transportation, and any critical medications. Be ruthless here. If it's truly non-negotiable, it goes on this list. If there's any wiggle room, it doesn't. Add these up. This number is your survival baseline. Step 3. Face the gap. Subtract your non-negotiables from your income. What's left? For many of you, the answer might be not much or even a negative number. Don't panic. This is information, not a death sentence. If you're in the negative, we'll address that in a minute. Step 4. Map your money flow. Here's where low-income budgeting differs drastically. You're not budgeting monthly, you're budgeting by paycheck. Get a calendar and mark every single day you get paid. Then, mark when every bill is due. Your goal is to match bills to the paycheck that comes right before they're due. This is called a paycheck budget, and it's the secret weapon for low-income budgeting. You're not trying to make your money stretch for 30 days. You're making it stretch from one paycheck to the next. If this strategy is new to you and already making sense, make sure you're subscribed because we're just getting started. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the rest of this series on real-world money management. The priority pyramid. What to pay and when you don't have enough money to cover everything. You need a priority system. This isn't about what feels right or what creditors are calling you about most. This is about strategic survival. Tier 1. Keep the lights on. Housing comes first. Not because landlords deserve your money more than anyone else, but because losing your housing creates a cascade of problems that are incredibly hard to recover from. After housing, keep your utilities on. You need water, electricity, and heat in winter. Then, food and essential medication. Tier 2. Keep your income flowing. Whatever you need to keep earning money comes next. If you need a car to get to work, that car payment and insurance matter. If you need a phone for your job, keep that phone on. Your ability to earn is your most valuable asset right now. Tier 3. Minimum debt payments. I know this might be controversial, but hear me out. If you're choosing between eating and making a credit card payment, choose eating. However, if you can make minimum payments without sacrificing Tier 1 and 2, do it. This protects your ability to use credit in emergencies and prevents your situation from getting worse with penalties and collections. Tier 4. Everything else. This is where other debts, subscriptions, and wants live. If you have anything left after Tiers 1 to 3, great. If not, this is where you make cuts, negotiate, or temporarily pause. Here's the hard truth. You might need to let some things go to collections temporarily. I'm not saying this lightly, but your survival comes first. A hit to your credit score is recoverable. Not having a place to live or food to eat isn't. Now, I know this might bring up some tough decisions. If you need help thinking through your specific situation, drop a comment with your question. I try to respond to as many as I can, and this community is here to support each other. Don't forget to like this video if it's helping you think differently about your priorities. Let's now uncover the low-income budget hacks. Let's talk tactics. I mean specific strategies that work when money is impossibly tight. Hack number 1. Call every single company you pay regularly. Ask for hardship programs, loyalty discounts, or lower-tier service options. Phone companies, internet providers, insurance companies, they all have programs for people struggling financially, but they don't advertise them. You have to ask. For example, say, I'm currently experiencing financial hardship and I'm trying to keep my account in good standing. Do you have any programs or discounts that could lower my monthly payment? Hack number 2. The cash envelope system. You've probably heard of cash envelopes, but here's the low-income version. Once your non-negotiables are covered, whatever's left gets divided into envelopes, food, gas, and one for everything else. When the envelope is empty, you're done spending in that category. No exceptions. This physical limitation prevents overdrafts and keeps you from spending money you've already allocated elsewhere. Hack number 3. The pantry challenge. Before you buy groceries, shop your pantry and freezer first. Challenge yourself to create meals from what you already have. This isn't about deprivation. It's about maximizing what you've already spent money on. You'd be surprised how far you can stretch your food budget this way. Hack number 4. The 24-hour rule. Any non-essential purchase, no matter how small, gets a 24-hour waiting period. Write it down and wait. You'll be shocked how many things you don't actually need after a day passes. This hack has probably saved me thousands of dollars over the years. Hack number 5. The side hustle stash. Any extra money that comes in, a tax refund, a gift, overtime pay, selling something, doesn't go into your regular budget. It goes into a separate account for one thing only: breaking the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Even $50 in a separate account is a buffer you didn't have before. These hacks work, but only if you implement them. So here's my challenge. Pick one of these to start this week. Just one. Then come back and comment which one you chose and how it went. And if you want more practical money tips like these, subscribe so they show up in your feed. Dealing with the mental game. Let's talk about something people don't discuss enough: the emotional weight of low-income budgeting. This stuff is exhausting. Making every dollar stretch, saying no constantly, watching everyone else seem to have what you need. It takes a toll. First, acknowledge that what you're doing is hard. You're not being dramatic. Managing extreme financial constraints requires constant mental energy and decision-making. It's genuinely difficult, and you're doing it every single day. Second, find one small thing that brings you joy that costs nothing or almost nothing. A walk in a park, a library book, a free community event, a phone call with someone you love. Budgeting on a low income cannot mean eliminating every single moment of pleasure, or you'll burn out. You're a human being, not a budget spreadsheet. Third, celebrate the wins. Paid a bill on time. That's a big win. Made it to your next paycheck without overdrafting? That's another win. Found a creative meal solution? That's also a win. These aren't small things when you're operating in survival mode. They're victories, and they deserve recognition. Finally, remember that this is your current chapter, not your entire story. Low income doesn't define your worth, your intelligence, or your future. You're learning skills right now, and these skills are resourcefulness, creativity, and resilience. They will serve you for the rest of your life, regardless of your income level. If you're struggling with the mental side of this, know that you're not alone. Drop a supportive emoji in the comments for anyone who needs encouragement today. This community is here for each other. And smash that like button if this section resonated with you. All right, moving to the next. So where do you go from here? You've got your numbers, you've got your priorities, you've got your hacks. Now what? Your goal isn't to become a millionaire next month. Your goal is to create breathing room. Here's how you build it. Month 1 to 2, stop the bleeding. Just focus on not going further backward. Track everything, stick to your paycheck budget, implement 1 or 2 hacks. That's it. Success is not getting worse. Month 3 to 4, find $5. Your only goal is to end one pay period with $5 left over. Just $5. Put it somewhere separate. This isn't about the amount. It's about proving to yourself that there can be money left over. Month 5 to 6, build a tiny buffer. Keep finding small amounts to set aside. Your target is $100 to $200. This isn't an emergency fund yet. This is a my car needs gas, but I don't get paid until tomorrow fund. It's a buffer between you and overdraft fees or late charges. Month 7 and beyond, be 1 month ahead. This is the dream, getting 1 month ahead on your bills, where your October income pays November bills. This takes pressure off the paycheck-to-paycheck timing crunch. It might take a year or more to get here, and that's okay. Remember, progress isn't linear. You'll have setbacks. A car repair, a medical bill, a cut in hours. Life happens. When it does, you don't start over. You just pause, deal with it, and resume. Every step forward counts, even if you occasionally take a step back. If you're committed to making progress, even if it's slow, drop "I'm in the comments. Let's build accountability together. And subscribe so you have ongoing support on this journey. All right, we've covered a lot today. From understanding why traditional budgeting doesn't work for low incomes, to tracking your money by paycheck, to prioritizing payments strategically, to implementing real hacks that create breathing room, and acknowledging the mental load this all carries. Here's what I want you to take away. Budgeting on a low income is possible, but it requires different strategies than what mainstream financial advice offers. It requires flexibility, creativity, and a lot of self-compassion. You're not failing if this is hard. You're succeeding by showing up and trying. Here are your action steps from this video. Calculate your actual income and list your non-negotiables. Create a paycheck-to-paycheck budget on a calendar. Choose one hack to implement this week. Find one free thing that brings you joy. If this video helped you see budgeting differently, I need you to do 3 things. First, hit that like button so YouTube shows this video to more people who need it. Financial advice shouldn't just be for people who are already comfortable. Second, subscribe and turn on notifications. I create content like this regularly because I believe everyone deserves practical financial guidance, regardless of their income level. Your subscription tells me this content matters and helps me reach more people. Third, share this video with someone who needs it. We all know someone who's struggling financially but doesn't talk about it. This might be exactly what they need to hear today. Drop a comment and let me know, what's your biggest challenge with budgeting on a low income? Or if you've successfully done it, what's your best tip for others? Your experience could help someone else watching this. Remember, your worth is not determined by your bank account balance. You are valuable, you are capable, and you are doing better than you give yourself credit for. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep going, you've got this.